Hey, it's Mike, Blackstone Valley Piano here. We received this keyboard in today for new coverings, new natural coverings, the white keys, okay, and new bushings. As you can see, the bushings are worn out. Bushings are the red cloth right there in that mortise, and the bushings act as a bushing or a bearing between that mortise and the pin. Okay, so let's go over a couple things. This entire thing is a key frame or a keyboard. The key frame is here. It keeps and encloses the keys, holds them all. These are key pins. This is a balance rail pin. This is a front rail pin. What they do is they keep the keys vertical and allow them to travel freely and smoothly with a bushing there and a bushing there. Okay? So basically the key frame holds the keys with pins and bushings. The problem with this keyboard is, besides the bushings, you see that? These keys are moving forwards and backwards. That's called a pulley key. See that? Or a chucking key, sometimes they're called. So what's happened is, this balance hole, this is a balance pin, this is a balance hole, has enlarged or elongated over time because this piano has had a lot of play. I can tell by looking at it. Certain things are worn out that tell me it's been played a lot. So this is wood, this is metal, and over time the wood is softer than the metal, so something has to give, and it's going to be the softer material, which is the wood and the bushing. Okay, bushing is sacrificial. They get replaced several times in the life of the piano. The balance holes sometimes get replaced, not always. What's interesting about this piano is that the balance holes are worn out all the way from key number 1 all the way to key number 88. See that? Usually I'll just see that wear concentrated in the middle of the keyboard because this is where the majority of the play takes place, in the middle of the keyboard. Very few pieces have notes that are played in the very low range, in the very high range. Again, most of it's in the middle. But look at these keys. They really move in and out a lot. It's also noisy. So basically, that slop in those balance holes will be felt and perceived in the action. The action is what goes on top of these keys that has the hammers that hit the strings. It's how a piano makes it sound. So that sloppiness in how these keys move will be felt in the action. So those balance holes need to be replaced. They're all elongated and they're all worn out. The pins are worn out as well. These are chrome-plated brass pins. So what happens is the wood rides around the bottom of that pin, and over the years the wood will actually erode away this plating and expose the more vulnerable brass underneath. As that brass starts wearing out, it will actually decrease in diameter, which contributes to the sloppiness and the pulliness of these keys. So it's a combination of the wood hole elongating and the brass pin actually getting smaller in diameter by a few thousandths of an inch. So we'll actually have to replace these pins and the balance holes and the balance bushings, and we'll do the front bushings as well. We'll probably end up replacing the front pins because they're going to be just as worn as these. Another thing I noticed was that the sharps were spray painted. This particular make and model of piano is very desirable and will sell for about $60,000 when finished. So spray painting these sharps, in my opinion, is not an option. It's like putting vinyl siding on a castle. The ebony underneath this spray paint is better than any ebony you can buy today. So we need to convince the client to remove all this spray paint and restore the sharps professionally. But for now, I wanted to again describe what a pulley key is. This is a pulley key. You can pull them in and out. They should be tight on the pin. You shouldn't be able to pull them in and out at all. They should just slide over the pin with just the tiniest bit of friction. So as you can see, these things are moving almost a 1/16 of an inch. That's way out of specs.